Graham Jason Matthews here live in Springfield, Mass. WWE live event with Mr. Kofi Kingston talking all about live events for today. I think it was something you know a thing or two about, man. What's going on?
Yes. Well, first I noticed the strategic placement of our standing.
I did that on purpose.
We're on a hill, and you're probably not going to show. You don't want to show, and then you're on the higher part of the decline.
Guys, don't.
So now he goes home. He's like, "Well, those guys didn't look so bad. Oh, I thought they'd be taller." Right? You know, look at me. I know what you're trying to do here with the positioning. This is what we do. So. I get it.
It's funny you say that because we did this with Barry about 20 minutes ago, and he didn't expose me. You just exposed me.
I got to expose you, man. We got to let the people know what's going on. That's what you came back here for.
I guess
behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So we got to let them know like everything that's going on here. You know? We got to call people out when they're doing stuff that need to be called out. I'm just saying I know. I want you to know that I know.
That's true. Okay, well we got that out of the way. It comes with the territory, I suppose.
Yeah.
Great to see you back on SmackDown on
man.
Friday. So welcome back. I went over on the Viking Raiders. Great to see.
Yeah, man. It was. It's great. So Ivar and I actually we're from Massachusetts.
I was gonna say. So you went to school at BC or BU?
I went to BC. Graduated from Winchester High School.
Nice.
So this is like being back home. You know? And when I used to train initially when I was first getting my start here at the Chaotic Training Center. I was doing pro wrestling, but Handsome Johnny is what he was back in the day. You know, now he's Viking down, you know, and Ivar and everything. But he's the one who like broke me into the business. So you know, all the animosity and everything aside, like it's very, very cool for us to be in there, just doing cool things in front of people because this is what we're doing in front of nobody. You know what I mean? So it's bittersweet because they do hit hard, you know? So you know that you definitely feel it, but at the same time, when you take a step back, look at the big picture, it is pretty cool to be doing stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. You guys have been feuding now for quite a while over on SmackDown. We got a Viking Rolls match next week that people can look forward to. Flash next weekend as well. And you've been around the block, so to speak. You've been here for 14, almost 15 years in January.
Which is wild.
That's crazy.
The time flies so quickly. Someone just, so we were in Detroit last night. We went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and somebody pulled me aside. You know, skinny guy, worked at the place, but he's a little bit taller. He's like, no, I met you 11 years ago. I'm like, oh, and I always hate when people say that, but it's like, man, I've been doing this for so long. It's like, yeah, I have the picture. We took a picture. So I put it on my Instagram page, but we did a side-by-side of him when he was like this tall.
You're kidding.
And he's this tall. So there are people that we see even at like the airports who've been coming to the airports for years because they're such big fans and get autographs and take pictures and all that. And I've literally like watched people grow up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like people were like kids and then all of a sudden they come and they have like facial hair. They're like actually growing up. So it's wild, you know, to have been around for so long. You look around the locker room and it's like, man, I don't know really any of these guys. You know what I mean? That are around here, and I know them, but as far as like knowing them intimately and personally, there's a lot of like new faces, which is a good thing, you know. So I'm just blessed to be able to still be hungry, be healthy, and having fun, and being able to do this on a full-time basis.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. It's crazy how you've not known, but like seen some of these people grow up. Even like you've known some of these people more than like longer than you've had your own kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is.
It's wild,
and it's worldwide too. And with social media, like I tend to interact with a lot of people, so. There are people who I will keep in contact with. You know, I'm like, oh, so how's it going? What are you doing? Oh, you know, so it's the crazy world that we live in. I think being a fan of WWE now is so different than it was back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, where you didn't really have access to your favorite WWE superstars. And now, granted, like we're not in conversation with everybody. We can't be. There's so many people, but you get to see like behind the scenes. We were talking about up, down, right? And, like being on the gaming channel, you have a lot of people who play video games, and you know it might be a totally different persona than you see on television, but it's very relatable because you know people like games. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's cool to be able to like identify and relate to people on a very personal level on so many different ways. And
it's perfect that you mentioned that here at the live events. That's exactly what you guys do through like meet and greets, and there's a bit fewer people at these shows than like the TV tapings, and there's more freedom too because you're not dealing with commercial breaks and stuff like that. So you can go up to people and try stuff out and do silly crap. You know what I mean?
It's great having like a live television show, Raw or SmackDown. Amazing experience, being able to go with the pyrotechnics and the glitz and the glamour and everything, but you're restricted to a certain amount of time, 2 hours on SmackDown or 3 hours on Raw. So with that, you don't always have the time to be able to interact with the crowd versus these live events. It's not as nearly as restricted. You know, we don't want to be here all night. You don't want us to be here all night. We want to make sure you have a good time. So we might go out there and people might start chanting, I don't know, well, we want pancakes. We're like, oh, wait a minute, you do, and we just happen to have pancakes. So we can like really play with the crowd a little bit here on these live events. It's just a lot more, again, of an intimate experience, and you know, it's just completely different than what you see on TV. So even if you've been to a televised show, your experience with these live events is totally different. Especially like here in Springfield and in Massachusetts in general, we have such a huge fan base, and even coming in here, there was a police officer who had to keep telling people to like stay off the street because they were like, you know, coming around the barricade and like trying to like, you know, see people parking and everything. And obviously we have to worry about their safety, but I just wanted to speak to like the passion of the people around here, and they carry that same fervor in there. You can hear them right now. Of course, you know what I mean. So it's always a pleasure to come here. It's always an honor just to be in a place where I grew up, you know, but then also just to be able to feel that energy, because the energy around the world is always different. You know? But here in particular, the fan base is strong. We love that.
I mean, I was stoked to hear that you guys were coming to Springfield. I've actually never been to a show here. I live in Connecticut. Yeah, I've never been to a show here. I'm more of a TD Garden person. Yeah. Obviously, you must be stoked you guys are going to Survivor Series in Boston.
So stoked.
First pay-per-view there in like 10 years or something.
Yeah, it's, I know, so we
Survivor
were supposed
Series
to have, what, SummerSlam?
Oh, yeah, SummerSlam 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and then the world shut down and it never happened. So I'm glad that we're able to do Survivor Series, and I feel like even back in the day, like Survivor Series in Boston was like, that was a thing, you know? It was like a staple, you know, arena to have that awesome pay-per-view in.
Yeah, it happened a couple times since you've been in the company,
Yeah, and even like, so I remember the first time that my family came to see me live on the main roster was in Survivor Series. So, and I ended up being like the sole survivor. And
was that 09?
This was, I think it was 08.
08?
Well, I debuted in 08. Maybe, no, I think
it was like
probably end of 08.
Okay,
I'd imagine. But yeah, so you know, having that Survivor Series match, you get to see like the All-Star game, right? Where all your WWE favorite superstars from different rosters get to go at it and see who's the best. So I ended up being like the sole survivor, and like the last 3 seconds, I think like I pinned Randy Orton and CM Punk, and now I have this like huge moment, you know. So
and your kids are seeing that, like your family's seeing that, right?
Yeah. My family was was there. My kids were born.
Okay, we're going back a while.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just always surreal to be here because I used to come to these very arenas and watch these shows. So now, like, I think about the people who are like, they're in the shoes that I was in, and they're watching and being inspired by the things that we're doing in the ring. It's just like, you know, kind of like circle of life within the world of wrestling. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's funny you mention that too, especially since you talk about like someone like a Theory. He's like 24 years old.
Oh yeah.
Like he's probably, I don't know when he started watching specifically. I'm 27. I started watching in 2008. Yeah. So like you were one of the first people I started watching in like middle school. I think you said when you were that, but I'm just saying it's crazy. And now like he's on Raw obviously, but like now seeing people like him, and obviously there was young people coming into WWE 15 years ago, you being among them, you know. But it's crazy now that you get to work with those same people. Again, like you said, full circle.
It's circle of life. And interesting story about Theory too. So before we come to WWE, now we have NXT and the Performance Center in Orlando. Yep. Before that existed, we had Deep South, which was in Atlanta. So when we were, so Theory's from Atlanta.
I was going to say,
he would come to the Deep South shows. So he used to come and watch us, like try to get, you know what I mean? Like trying to make it to the main roster. So he has like pictures with a lot of the people that were on the Deep South roster and used to hang around. So it's just wild when you think about that, like what you're doing in the ring and how it's impacting people and motivating people to follow this wild, crazy dream.
Yeah, it's amazing, man, especially since being with the company or on the main roster, with the company longer than that, but coming up on 15 years. Going back to the live event stuff for a second, how has that process like evolved in the last like 15 years since you joined? Is it the same? Like that's positive, not in a bad way.
No, so there are some elements that are the same as far as like the interaction and like being able to be more intimate with the crowd. But now it's a lot more like full-scale, professional looking. Like we used to just come out of a black curtain. Yeah. That was our presentation. I'm sure you remember, like, you know, so And at the time it was fine, but to think about going back to that, it's like, oh, because you look at it now, it's like high def TV. You have like, 3 or 4 different monitors. It's almost like a mini version of Raw or SmackDown. You have a big entrance, and then around like the holidays and stuff too, we have like a lot. They decorate the stage and all that. So I think one of the focuses of the company was to make these live events more, just make them bigger, and kind of increase the hype that was already there, and increase it tenfold. Because when you feel like you're at something that like looks important, looks professional, even with like the like our VIP experience, it's awesome because people get to come in and they get to meet like some of their favorite WWE superstars before a show. So they get to come in early, they get to be by the ring, feel what the ring actually feels like, and be like, no, it's not actually like a pillow at all. It might hurt when you get slammed on there. Or have like a little signing with like 3 or 4 people that show up. So it's just a great way to kick off like just the event. So it's kind of like this big crescendo of energy, and then we feel that energy too. We take that energy and then we amplify it, and then people amplify it, and then by the end of the night, like everybody knows that they've had like a great experience, and that's always the goal of every single show, and we do it, almost every night of the week. So
when smiles on faces, isn't that the old expression?
That's what it is.
It's what it is. People criticize, but it's true.
It's such a like a stereotypical or cliche term.
Yeah, like a corporate thing or whatever.
But it's so true, and especially with like the pandemic, having to go through like Raw and SmackDown in empty arenas. It was weird, man. Like just the people bring such a vital element to what we do. Without the people, it is not the same. The pandemic was great. We were able to bring people entertainment, and in a time where people couldn't get together and all of that.
Made the most of it.
But especially like for us, like the New Day, like we thrive on fan interaction. Sometimes we focus more on that than we do with the match.
You can't throw pancakes at the screens in the Thunderdome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm just so glad that we're able to like all get together now in person. It really makes a huge difference, and you can feel that energy out there with people. I think they're so excited that we're able to do it again, and it's our pleasure to do so.
We're glad to see you guys back on the road and kicking ass in all these other matches. And as we wind down here, being on the main roster, I keep going back for almost 15 years. It's crazy, man. Is there anything that comes to mind as far as stuff that you tried on live events that you're like, let's see if this works, and like you translate to TV? Like, is there stuff that we've seen on TV either from you or like the New Day in general that started here at live events?
Everything that we have done on TV started at a live event, whether it be on the road, traveling in the car, or just doing random stuff in the ring. Literally everything, and we usually go out there and we try to entertain each other, and then when something like that works, we say, oh, people kind of like that, well, let's see if they like it this time, they like it here, well, let's bring it on TV and see if they like it there too. So being on the road and having these live events was just integral to the chemistry development of me, Woods, and Heat. We were very fortunate to be able to like travel with each other pretty much every single week, have matches with each other, but this is all before everything was televised. And just to kind of like foster that chemistry and really fine tune it. So by the time that we were able to debut on TV, even though we were like supposed to be like happy clappy preachers, people were able to look past all of that and focus on the chemistry and the good times that we were having. And when you see someone having a good time, like you want to get in there, you want to see what that's about. What are they doing?
Exactly.
These guys are clapping. Oh, that's a unique clap. You know what I mean? And it became our thing. So it's just like the live events, we really cherish them. They're really kind of like the lifeblood of what we do. So it's just a great way to interact with people on a personal level for sure.
And especially with the evolution of the New Day, kind of getting its start on the house shows and the live events and whatnot. Was it a case when you guys started doing, because there was that period where you started off on TV, obviously, then it became like a live event thing, as we're trying it out there. We saw it on TV a couple of months after that. Was it a case like when you guys started doing it, and it's getting great, people at the house shows, like, it's like genuine fans. Like sometimes the TV tapings, pay-per-views, kind of get those hardcore fans. If they don't like something, they'll let you know about it, Was it weird? I guess you guys weren't booed originally when you guys first started doing the New Day. Not really, but
we weren't booed in the first month because everyone was happy to see us doing something significant on TV, but then they realized like no one comes to a WWE show to go to church and be preached at. Then they were like, wait a minute, we don't like you. As a matter of fact, you suck. And but even when people react like negatively, I guess, as long as they're reacting, like that's something. We have people that if we want to be booed. We have people that we want to be cheered.
Absolutely.
And obviously, it's up to the people, but we just want you to, and we want you to like express whatever it is that you're feeling, and not be bashful about actually just, you know, coming out of your show and doing it. They turn the lights down, you know, nobody's gonna make fun of you. Like, this is what you're here to do. You're here to have a great time, and we want to make sure that that happens. So, being able to have the live events again was just a crucial part of the development of New Day, because by the time we got on TV, and for those of you who don't know, like, you know, we usually have, depending on what show you're on, you either have TV and then live events after, or live events right before and then TV.
Yeah.
So to be able to kind of like, it's not even really like practice because every match is different, but it's like being able to like understand, know, and become intimate with yourself and your own character. To be able to like portray that in a way that's not uncomfortable, you have to get out there in front of people and try stuff. So this is that's what makes it fun, when like things kind of go off the rails. It's like, all right, whoa, okay, man, like, well, that didn't work. Oh, we thought it was gonna be cool. It's not. How are we gonna make it like entertaining and exciting? Like, that's where it gets fun for us. So we value the live events. Really, it's we cherish them for sure.
It's awesome, man. Last question for you on the live events. How relaxing is it for you guys? Like, this atmosphere backstage, it's really cool, man. And not to say that it's not like that at TV days, but there's a lot less to worry about. You guys were just doing up, up, down, down, like 20 minutes ago. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah, it definitely is cool. It's something that we enjoy, and I think that, like, if you are a WWE superstar, you have to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy what we do. Otherwise, you won't make it. This is the reality is that it's really grueling. You know, the travel. We had an early flight this morning to get here after having a late show last night. You know, not much sleep. But we still have to wake up, work out, gear up, and come to the show. Like, you have to love it. So, it's. I mean, I guess it's more laid back than TV in the sense that, like, we're not restricted to a time, but it is still intense in terms of us really wanting to put on the best show possible for the people, and that's what excites us, to have the opportunity to do that, and then going out and delivering that you know, you feel like you did your job and you gave people more than their money's worth. So
we're going to be seeing that tonight. You and Xavier and Joe take another brawling brooch in the main event. Looking forward to it here in Springfield. So enjoy being back in the Mass area. I know you're going to be here tonight, obviously, but you know, Boston Survivor Series, Worcester in like a month. So you got to be. I went to college in Beverly, so nice. I love the area.
Okay,
it's great. So I'm looking forward to the shows.
Me too. Yeah, thanks for having me. Absolutely. Just to let you know, you see where we ended up. You see, we bring it full circle, right? Because I know what I'm doing. I'm talking, but I'm taking a little step closer, and he's getting. He's taking baby steps back. So by the time we get to the end of the interview, we get to like level ground here. And now, you know what I mean? So that's, you know, that we talk about full circle.
Yeah, you're talking about full circle.
You know, the long con, as they say.
Dream Juice and Matthews here, exposed, bleachereport.com. Kofi, thanks so much for the time, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, boss.